Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Andrew Dowie. I'm the Member of Provincial Parliament for Windsor-Tecumseh and Parliamentary Assistant to the Minister of Economic Development, Job Creation and Trade. I wish a warm Essex County welcome back to Premier Ford and Minister Mulroney today, and an equally warm welcome to my colleague, MPP Trevor Jones, Mayor Dilkens, Warden MacDonald, Mayor Rogers, Deputy Mayor Bichetti, Deputy Mayor Shepley, and so many of our municipal colleagues today. This government proved itself to be different for the people of Windsor-Essex. Our new regional acute care hospital, upgrades for existing hospitals and local long-term care homes, the Highway 3 widening, rural broadband. The Premier's unparalleled record of keeping his commitments is a major reason why, 1 year ago, the people of our region sent MPP Jones, MPP Liardi, and I to Queen's Park. And today we'll confirm another commitment kept. Thank you, Premier Ford and Minister Mulroney, for being in our corner here in Essex County every step of the way. I'd like to now invite Warden Hilda MacDonald to the stage.
Now, if I repeat what MPP Dowie just said, you're going to think I'm just echoing. But as a leader in the region and a leader of the municipality of Leamington, what he said is exactly right. The government has paid attention to the needs and the necessities of the County of Essex, and in particular, I'm going to just say the municipality of Leamington. In regards to the widening of Highway 3, it is to keep our folks safe, our residents, the people who come and visit and travel here, the people who work here. We appreciate that. But it's also about efficiency, getting the trucks to where they need to go, getting the produce to where it needs to go, getting anything where it needs to go to other areas in the province and around North America. So we appreciate the fact that the government is noticing our needs and understanding what we need in this end of Ontario. It improves the quality of life. It puts us on a higher level with the other areas that are also doing well economically, and we want to be there. We want to be in the competition. We want to be at the top, and in order to do that, we need to have roads, we need to have facilities, we need to have other opportunities to be on that front stage. So with that, I thank the Premier, and I also want to thank Minister Mulroney. She has paid attention to us as well. Truly appreciated by all of us that live in the region, and we are very much looking forward to the economic prosperity that this will bring to the folks that live here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Warden MacDonald. We appreciate your leadership in the County of Essex. I want to welcome everybody to Kingsville. We don't get to do this too often, so we're thankful for being here. Thankful for Mr. Premier. Thankful for the Minister for being here. Mayor Dilkens, all established dignitaries. We represent different tiers of government, but we're all connected by a single desire to serve our respective communities, region, and province at large. And connection is what this is all about. Transportation connects people to people and people to places. Putting the proper infrastructure in place means commuters can get home to their families faster after work. It means a business can meet a vital delivery deadline, ensured shelves are well stocked, and help grow its customer base. The county is not small farming communities anymore. With 20 to 30% population growth by 2031, we need good planning, proper infrastructure, and a detailed long-term vision to ensure our success for future generations. I always like the Jonathan Swift quote, "Vision is the art of seeing what is invisible to others." On behalf of Kingsville, we thank our Ontario government for investing in this expansion project. You're not just widening the road, you're opening the road to economic development and prosperity. Thank you. It's my pleasure to introduce Windsor Mayor Drew Dilkens.
Well, thank you very much, Mayor Rogers, and it's certainly my pleasure to be here on behalf of the City of Windsor. You know, today's announcements, all of them, are absolutely fantastic, and whether the announcement for the widening of Highway 3 and more work on Highway 3 is happening in the county, I'll tell you folks, it is great for the City of Windsor as well. And the other announcement that's about to come is something that we had envisioned for quite some time. It's something that I think I know from a shared goals perspective, when it comes to a city perspective, when it comes to a county perspective, when it comes to a provincial perspective, looking at the construction of the Gordie Howe Bridge and the opening of that bridge, we have said, and I have said many times, that the only luck we're going to have with the construction of that bridge is the luck we create. And we're laying the groundwork here today to make sure that we can adapt to the needs when that bridge opens, to make sure that we can grow our community, that we have the industrial park that we need, but most importantly, that we have the infrastructure to move the trucks and the cars that are going to help drive our local economy, help drive our regional economy, and certainly help Ontario's economy and Canada's economy thrive. And the additional announcement today, and it's really hard for me to stand here and not tip my hat, Premier, but it's just so darn exciting, links into so many other projects. It's not just the bridge, it's the hospital project. It's not just an industrial park for industrial growth, it's also the residential growth. And the Premier has set a very aggressive target of 1.5 million homes to be constructed, new units over the next 9 years. That's very aggressive, and we want to do our part. I have said we're going to do our part. We're going to meet our goal down here in the City of Windsor, or we're going to die trying. This is a big, big, big advancement for us to actually meet that goal. And then, of course, you all know about the work that's ongoing with a small little battery factory. Yeah, there's a little hiccup here today, but we're going to get that over the hump for sure. And this project also links to that major investment in our community. So, Premier, we talked about these investments in the platform for Windsor. I talked to you during the election about these investments. I followed up after the fact, and I can tell you folks, every step of the way, we have a Premier that was open, that was interested, and that was engaged in helping this area succeed. And you cannot ask for anything more. And to have the Premier here today and Minister Mulroney, let me tell you, Minister Mulroney, the first time I met her, the first time that many of you met here was just up the road, because the Premier made a commitment in 2018 in the campaign to widen Highway 3. And there were a few doubting Thomases at that time. And one of the first orders of business that Minister Mulroney had was to come here and make the announcement that Highway 3 was going to be widened, and this government has delivered on that promise. So, Premier, on behalf of the residents in the City of Windsor, I again thank you for the investment that you're making in our community. Minister Mulroney, thank you very much for your continued support, because it doesn't just happen in the Premier's office. It takes strong ministers like Minister Mulroney, and every step of the way, when it comes to these conversations, she has been actively engaged as well, and we can't ask for anything more. So it is my pleasure right now to welcome and to introduce Ontario's Minister of Transportation and Francophone Affairs, Caroline Mulroney.
Thank you so much, Mayor Dilkins. Hello, everyone. Bonjour à tous. It's so great to be here in Kingsville. I'm thrilled to join you today alongside MPP Dowie, MPP Jones, Deputy Mayor Shepley, Mayor McDonald, Mayor Rogers, Mayor Dilkins, and of course, Premier Ford. I want to start by saying thank you to the Premier for making transportation a priority in our province, including right here in southwestern Ontario. As you heard the Mayor say, I will always remember that one of my first official acts as Minister of Transportation almost 4 years ago now was to come to southwestern Ontario to announce our government's plan to widen Highway 3 from Essex to Leamington. And now today, we're back with another exciting update that is more great news for the people of Kingsville, Essex, Leamington, Windsor, and beyond. You've heard me say it before. Ontario has one of the best and safest transportation networks in all of North America. And this is no accident. From day one, we've rolled up our sleeves and we got to work, building the critical transportation infrastructure that Ontarians need, but previous leaders neglected. And here in southwestern Ontario, our track record speaks for itself. Under the leadership of Premier Ford, we're improving transit by providing over $22 million to 12 municipalities in southwestern Ontario as part of the Ontario Community Transportation Grant Program. We've invested $150 million since 2018 to repair roads and bridges through the Connecting Links program. In short, we're delivering on our promise to get you moving. Today's exciting announcement is just another demonstration of this. And with that, it's my pleasure to introduce Premier Doug Ford. Thank you. Merci.
Boy, well, good afternoon, everyone. And I'll tell you, it's so great to be here. And thank you for that introduction, Minister Mulroney. It's a pleasure to be back here in Windsor, Essex region alongside Minister Mulroney, MPP Andrew Dowie, and MPP Trevor Jones, and Anthony Liardi. I know he's working hard on a bill at Queen's Park, but he's a champion as well. Also want to welcome Windsor Mayor Drew Dilkins, Kingsville Mayor Dennis Rogers, Leamington Mayor and Warden of Essex County, Hilda McDonald, and Essex Deputy Mayor Rob Shepley. Thank you all for joining us today as we mark another important milestone in building transportation infrastructure here in Windsor, Essex. Friends, our government has a plan that's building all of Ontario. It's a plan that is helping people, businesses, and communities today while laying a strong foundation for generations to come. It's a plan that starts with building a stronger, more resilient economy, creating the conditions for jobs to grow and businesses to succeed. We're investing in clean, affordable electricity. We're keeping taxes and fees low. We're cutting red tape, and we're training the skilled workforce that companies need to grow and expand. And friends, our plan is working. I just have to remind everyone, when we took office 5 years ago, 300,000 jobs were chased out of this province, and a lot right here in this region. Today, there's over 670,000 more people working today than when we took office in 2018. We have 380,000 jobs available pretty well in every sector across our province. And across all industries, we'll continue to attract billions of dollars in new investments, including over $25 billion over just the past 2.5 years in the auto sector alone, with billions of dollars flowing to southwestern Ontario. But as our economy grows, as our communities grow, our infrastructure needs to keep up. That's why we've embarked on the most ambitious capital plan in Ontario's history, investing over $184 billion over the next decade to build schools, hospitals, long-term care homes, and other key infrastructure projects to support the growth of our economy and our communities. This includes almost $28 billion to build, expand, and improve our roads and highways, to tackle gridlock, connect communities, and grow our economy. And today, we're thrilled to mark an important milestone, to keep people and goods moving right here in Windsor, Essex. Today, we're announcing that we've awarded GIP paving, and look at that beautiful equipment and the folks over there that are going to be building this road, the contract to widen and expand Highway 3 from 2 to 4 lanes between Essex and Leamington. And Warden, I remember, and Mayor, I remember in 2018, I remember going here and announcing that we were going to make sure that we widen it, and with the support of our local communities and the elected officials, this is happening. This portion of Highway 3 is a critical link for people and communities in the Southwest. With over 17,000 vehicles traveling the stretch of the highway each and every single day, expanding the highway will reduce gridlock, cut down on commute times, and improve the movement of people and goods throughout this growing region. It's a win-win. Mums and dads will get home to their families sooner, and goods will get to market faster, helping support economic growth. Today, we're also announcing that our government is supporting the City of Windsor in building a new interchange connecting Lausanne Parkway to Highway 401, which is great. And thank you, Mayor, for that. This new interchange will support a new industrial park in the Lausanne Parkway corridor and will provide better access to the Windsor-Detroit Bridge, as you were mentioning, Mayor, the Gordie Howe Bridge, helping to increase opportunities for trade. Friends, our government is building the infrastructure that a growing Windsor-Essex needs to reach its full potential. We supported the building of the new Catholic Central High School in Windsor. We're investing $9.8 million in the planning grant for the new Windsor-Essex Acute Care Hospital. That's going to be a beautiful hospital. And we're accelerating the development of new electricity transmission infrastructure projects to support significant growth in the manufacturing and greenhouse sectors. We're working closely with all these mayors behind me to build more homes, and we're building the roads and highways to keep people and goods moving. Together, we're building Windsor-Essex, we're building Ontario now and for the future. Friends, before I wrap up here today, I want to take a moment and address the recent reports about the federal government's ongoing discussions with Stellantis. I know everyone's anxious for the deal, and I am as well. I've been in regular contact with the federal government, including recent discussions with the Deputy Prime Minister, Chrystia Freeland, and Minister Champagne. And I just want to thank the Prime Minister for being a great partner. I'm urging them to do what's necessary to secure this, to make sure they secure their agreement, and have said again that Ontario is willing to do our part. We put more money on the table. Now more than ever, we need all people, all levels of government, all communities to work together to protect tens of thousands of jobs, to support tens of thousands of workers and their families. I want to thank everyone for their ongoing support and partnership. I'm going to start off with Lana Payne at Unifor as being an absolute champion. Another champion, I call him a friend too, Dave Cassidy from Unifor Local 444. We sat down with Dave, and thank you always for your support, and he's just doing a great job. Along with Flavio Volpe from the Automotive Parts Manufacturers Association, Mayor Dilkins, and Mark Stewart from Stellantis, and of course our friends from the federal government. These are people who care deeply about our workers, who care deeply about our country, and I know we're going to come together to land this deal, and Ontario is here to do our part. Thank you all for joining us today, and may God bless the people of Ontario. Thank you. I guess before we start, I just want to tell people about our visit. I had the opportunity to go to a couple skilled trades training facilities, and it's just jaw-dropping what they're doing. I want to thank our friends, first of all, from LiUNA for working with the students and the schools and partnering with St. Clair College. They're great. I went over to my friends at the Carpenters. They're doing phenomenal work. They're blazing a new trail when it comes to teaching young people, grades 11 and 12s, a trade, a skilled trade that they'll have forever. I went over to Local 444, met all the great folks over there with Dave Cassidy, and a great partnership. And now we're here making this announcement. I'll tell you, I am in such a really good mood today. I'm usually in a good mood every day. But when I come here, you know, we're changing collectively, all of us. The municipalities and the trade unions and everyone else. This is going to be the hottest place, and not literally this hot, but it's going to be the hottest place to open a business, to lay down your roots, to start a family and buy a home. The people are so hospitable down here. They give their shirts off their backs, and the greetings I get when I stop are second to none, and I'm just so happy and I'm so grateful for all their support, and our local MPPs. They're true champions. So I'll take questions now. Thank you.
Great. Just a reminder, it's one question, one follow-up.
Thank you.
Hi, Maureen with Blackburn News.
Hi, Maureen.
We keep hearing that the deal's close. It's coming. It's coming. When? When are we going to get this over the finish line?
Well, we're helping the federal government with their deal, and we've stepped up, and we're going to continue supporting them. And again, we have a great partnership. I have a great friendship with Chrystia Freeland and Francois Philippe Champagne. They've been great partners. Vic Fideli has been a champion on our behalf as well. We were up, just to give you an idea, folks. You wonder how some of these things happen. And this is a record for Chrystia and I. During the pandemic, we'd be up at 12 talking to each other. We were on the line with the PMO, standing for Prime Minister's office, Chrystia's team, along with Francois Philippe, And I know our team was there as well, Vic Fideli and our office, until 2 o'clock in the morning. I think I hung up our conversation with Christy at 1:30 in the morning, and I just want to thank them for their great partnership. But we're here to help them get their deal. This is the federal government's deal, and we're there to support them. We're putting more money up, and I think we're about that close from getting it done. And I want to say thank you to Stellantis for being a great partner, for having patience. And we're going to build a beautiful facility here, employ 2,500 people. And then there's spin-off jobs, 7 to 1. You know, those are pretty staggering numbers. You're looking at thousands and thousands of new jobs. And what comes with that? New housing, new roads, twinning the highways, new hospitals, long-term care, the schools that we're building. And it just goes hand in hand, such a great trickle-down effect.
Thank you. And once that deal is done, what assurances are we going to have that it is a done deal when we thought it was done once before? What assurances are going to be part of that contract to make sure that this is actually done?
Well, again, the federal government's deal, we're going to be there to support them. You're going to see the building continue to go up, and you're going to see them starting to hire people. They're first out of the gate. So we're going to see a real economic boom here. But we're going to get it done.
Hi, TJ Deere, CBC News.
Hi, TJ.
You've seemingly changed your thoughts on how much the province should spend on a potential deal with Stellantis. First, it was millions. Now you said you're putting more money on the table. How much are you going to be propping up as part of this potential deal, and when would we get that information? Will it be made public?
Well, it will be after the deal is signed. We're in for one third the cost, and this is all about the people. It's about supporting the people, supporting the workers in this community. You know, as a common, when I was driving through here, one of my team members in the car said, you know, this region was ignored for 90 to 100 years until we ended up getting our local MPPs. And they've done an incredible job. Having a voice at the table makes such a difference when you're down at Queen's Park or any region at all. And we're just grateful we have 3 champions down here really shouting loud when we're down at Queen's Park about supporting this region.
And on Monday, Bill 5, the Stopping Harassment and Abuse by Local Leaders Act, was defeated. Last year, Queen's Park unanimously supported the bill until it was dissolved with the election call. Why has your government decided not to support it this time around?
Well, we're going to come up with a different type of bill. That's what it comes down to. We don't necessarily agree with all the wording in that bill, but we'll be there to make sure that we come up with a proper bill.
Hello, Rusty Thompson from AM 800.
Hi, Rusty. How are you?
Not bad. My question is, as we've seen this play out over the past few weeks, are you afraid that we will end up setting a dangerous precedent when it comes to how we provide incentives and subsidies to companies looking to locate in Ontario?
I don't think so. I look at it as an investment. Again, no matter if it's Stellantis or Volkswagen, the spin-off jobs are staggering, absolutely staggering. We're going to see tens of thousands of people having a job that they might otherwise not have a job. You're seeing a real boom throughout this whole region. So we invest into the people. That's the most important thing. And this isn't about 1 or 2 or 3 years. This is for decades moving forward and giving people certainty and stability, giving communities the stability that they need, and the leaders within the community. They're having more revenue come up to the city coffers, per se, and being able to spend it on different areas, no matter if it's infrastructure or health care. And that's exactly what we're doing here in Windsor.
In regards to the extension of Lausanne Parkway to the 401, that's not a small ticket item.
No.
Why is that seen as a priority for your government, given that there's so many highway projects across the province?
Well, supporting the region, but in saying that, I'm going to pass it over to the minister. That can pass it over to Mayor Dilkens. And Mayor Dilkens was a champion on this. He was the one who was pushing it forward, and Minister Mulroney was also the champion making it happen. But I'll pass it over to both of them.
Thank you, Premier. Well, absolutely. The work that we're going to do on the interchange the environmental assessment work, the design work that will lead to the building of an interchange will unlock tremendous potential in the region. And I can tell you the Mayor Dilkens has been a passionate advocate on this particular project because this particular area is key to the City of Windsor's plans to development, be it commercial or residential. And so the province wants to partner with the city to make sure that we're supporting that growth that's been identified by the city. And so this is the first step. And with that, I'll turn it over to the Mayor.
Well, thank you, Minister. And I just go back to the conversation where people have said to us for many years, you guys are so lucky to have Canada's largest infrastructure project with construction of the Gordie Howe Bridge in your backyard. And when you ask yourself, well, how are we lucky? When that project is done and you can drive a car from Montreal to Tijuana without ever stopping, what luck are you going to have? It's the luck we're going to create. And so that is why in the platform for Windsor in the last provincial election, we raised this as a priority because we knew being able to have access to Lausanne and 401 was critical to look at the next element of an industrial park for the city of Windsor. Because once we landed the Nexstar deal, LG told us, guys, get an additional 200 acres of land ready because there's 1,500 jobs that are going to follow in the supply chain. And we simply looked at our map, and we looked at a map in the county as well and said, where are we going to put these folks? What land is ready and available to go? And so this is all about planning and making sure that we have land ready to go. And then, as I said, we're building, and it's this government here, this government and this premier who said we are going to make sure that the hospital is a priority for Windsor Essex because but the government finally, and your government said, we hear your voice down there. You've been pounding the table and advocating for a decade on this. He says, we're going to deliver it. And so this connection actually links to the 401 at Lausanne and actually makes it easier for everyone in Essex County to get to the new hospital that we're going to build. And so you layer on the housing aspect and you look at the Sandwich South lands and you know that there is going to be at least a 2,000 home subdivision being built in the northwestern part of the Sandwich South lands. They too will have access to a huge interchange to be able to get to and from Windsor and Essex County. So on a number of fronts, this is a priority project, but it really is future thinking, trying to get the project in the queue, to get it funded. And the absolute first important piece is the Premier's announcements today and Minister Mulroney's announcement today to get the all-important environmental assessment done that would allow construction to proceed.
Taylor Campbell with the Windsor Star. Premier, we see environmental assessments occur all the time with no action, no follow-through on those projects. How high a priority is the 401 Lausanne Parkway interchange for your government?
It's the highest priority. We're going to make sure we get it done. We're going to continue pushing. Making sure we expedite the EA as quickly as possible. And I can assure you, the mayor will be driving by there every single day, give me a call. And I always make sure when the mayor says he needs something, we do it.
On the widening of Highway 3, how much does that cost?
I'll pass that over to Minister Mulroney.
Thank you. Well, the contract was just awarded, and it's $138 million.
This will be the last question.
Hi, Mr. Premier. Travis Fortnum with CTV. If you can believe it, I have a question about Stellantis.
Yes.
So you were talking about the friendliness of the people in this region. This has been a very anxiety-invoking 3 weeks for the people in this community. What would you say directly to them?
Well, I'm always going to have their backs. This is the federal government's deal. I'm going to have their backs as well. We've stepped up in a huge, huge way. And, I'm as anxious as they are. I know it's been a little bit of a roller coaster up and down, but I'm very confident with the partnership with the federal government and us stepping up. We're going to get this deal done. And I'm just very, very confident. We're just inches away from making this happen.
Thank you. Also, we got kind of a bit of a jolt last night with this report that there was a tentative deal. I wonder what goes through your mind at that time.
Well, I don't know how accurate that report was. I guess everyone's talking in the media, and we're just going to continue working. We're very close to support getting this deal, the federal government's deal, and we're there to support them. We've stepped up in a massive, massive way, unlike anywhere even in the U.S. The Inflation Reduction Act down there, better known as the IRA, They're pouring money in, the federal government. The states are doing next to nothing. We'll go toe-to-toe with any state in the U.S. because of the people. We have better people, we have a better region, and we just feel that we can compete against anyone in the world, especially when the municipalities, the skilled trades, and folks like Unifor, provincial government, and the federal government. It's all of us combined versus the vicious competition around the world. Folks, I can't begin to tell you how intense the competition is south of the border, not to mention over in Europe, over in Asia, and South America, down in Mexico. But we're coming out on top for one reason, because we're working collectively together. And I'm just so proud to have Team Ontario working together. And I'm going to catch this gentleman off guard here, but David, the CEO of Windsor Regional Hospital, I'd like him to come up and just say a few words about the hospital. Sorry I caught you off guard, buddy. Yeah, he's a good-looking dude coming up right now. Yeah, and hey, why don't you just so you can? This I always say when it comes to David. Yeah, I always talk about out-of-the-box thinkers. This guy's an out-of-the-box thinker, and because of him, we're doing 6,000 cataract operations that have taken the load off the back of the healthcare system. You know, so you want to really focus on someone that makes things happen. This is the guy right beside me. David, why don't you tell the folks what we're doing, or you're doing, I should say, down at Windsor Regional Hospital. Thanks, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you, Premier, and thank you, everybody. I was not expecting this, needless to say. But yeah, we've accomplished more in the last 5 years than we've accomplished in my lifetime in 20 years at Windsor Regional Hospital with this government. Is, as has been stated on this stage, when they made a promise, they deliver on the promise. So at the start of the pandemic, we had an issue where our facilities could not accommodate cataract surgeries anymore, period. We couldn't do them. If we did nothing, we'd have a wait list right now of some 60,000 patients would be lining up, waiting for their cataracts. It had been enormous. Reached out to this government and said, listen, we have an opportunity with a local physician. We can create a standalone facility to get these cataracts done in the community. Without hesitation, this government said, yep, let's do the necessary due diligence, do necessary risk assessments, safety assessments, but get it done. We got it done. We got it up and running within a month, and it hasn't stopped since. So this concern about, quote, privatization of healthcare, we have it here in Windsor, Essex, and it works. We service thousands of individuals. The only difference between them getting their cataracts done in the hospital and the standalone facility is they don't got to pay for parking in the standalone facility. Same doctors, same staff, same everything. Are they stealing staff from us? No, they're not. We're working together. We're making it happen. So that's what this government does, and what the announcement today with opening up Lozon Parkway to the 401, that's going to help that whole area. That's something, as they were selecting the site for the new hospital, was in the plans. Now it's going to be reality. And what we said from the start, whether that hospital went there or not, that area is going to take off. And sure enough, it is already. So by the time the hospital's built, which this Premier has said the shovel's in the ground in 2026 and we're going to get there, heck, that area is going to look a lot different than what it does look now. And it's going to have a beautiful brand new hospital for our region, which is cares for many more patients even outside of our region. So Premier, Minister Mulroney, MPP Dowie, all of our MPPs, thank you. Thank you so much. And as he stated, the big guy back there with the hat on is one of the biggest advocates we can have. And I can tell you there's a text string that goes on between myself, Cassidy, Drew, Premier, everybody saying, hey, you know, let's get this thing done with the battery plant, and it's going to get done because of the guy behind me. So thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, thanks, everyone. So great to be here again. Thank you.
Yeah, Dave.